Hey guys, Erica here at the CDA Conference. It has been amazing. I've met so many wonderful people. Today in the Child Care Director seat, we have another guest, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves and why the CDA is such an important asset and why we need to invest in the CDA in the ECE field. So tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Brianna Adler. I am an ECE professional development trainer and I'm really excited to be here. I actually started my career with getting my CDA, so I do know the importance of it and it holds a lot of weight and it's such an important part of professional development, especially for those who don't have any college degrees, and it's just really an amazing opportunity to learn as being in a classroom. So I really think it's such an important aspect. I have owned my own childhood center before, and I always get my employees to go get a CDA. So especially when they could get it fully covered by, you know,
The grant
financial
of some
aid
kind.
and everything.
Yeah.
It's such an important aspect of early childhood, and it's something that's very essential and actually helps. It's not just here, read this book and you're done.
Yeah.
It's very hands-on and it's very helpful.
How do you feel that the CDA developed you as a leader?
Oh my goodness, in so many ways, because at that time when I started, I was brand new to the field.
Yep.
So it really just taught me so much of how to be a teacher, what that looks like, and not just talking about it, actually doing it hands-on, because when it comes review time, you got to make sure you know what you're doing. So they really lead you up to that point of success, and they want to see you succeed. They want you to succeed, and they want you to move forward with it. And it's such a great process because the assistance that you get and the support that you get, it just makes a world of difference. In a lot of other programs, you don't get that because everything's online nowadays. So it's, well, here, you do it, and we'll see you later. But the CDA, it's in all different states. They provide so much support, and what do you need? Which I really appreciate because not enough people get support in those programs.
I think too, not only the professionalism of it, but teaching teachers to be reflective, right?
Yes.
Right, because being reflective is a big part of teaching,
Absolutely.
right? And I think that's the first time where I had to ask myself, gee, why do I teach that way? Or what is important to me? What are my values? And that's the first time that I started to ask myself those questions. I also went through the CDA process a long time ago when I started. Very long time ago.
Me too.
And as an employer who employs 40 staff in 3 different centers, that's one of the things when I interview folks who don't have a CDA or don't have any type of degree. That's the first thing I say. Be aware that we are a Bright Stars program. We value high quality, and that means having educated teachers in our classroom. Starts with the CDA.
Absolutely, I agree with you 110%. And my old program used to be UPK in New York.
Okay.
And I always said to them, we need to switch up our definition of a lead teacher.
Yeah.
If they have a CDA and experience, that should mean just as much as having a bachelor or master's degree.
Yeah.
Because CDAs aren't just here, it's all done. It's work. Like you said, it's reflection. It's really taking the time to do that work, just like if you were doing a bachelor's program.
Yeah.
So, so it really, it holds a lot of account in my opinion. I agree with you. If you're coming into my program and you don't have anything, that's fine. But we want you to scale up. We want you to thrive. We want you to succeed and be the best you could be for our kids here.
Yeah. And I think too, in early childhood programs, we talk a lot about growing the children. But in today's day and age, I really think we also need to include the conversation growing your team, growing your staff. To me, I'm very passionate about that, which is hence why the podcast. But I'm very passionate about taking care of your people.
I agree.
People are early childhood education. It's the people.
Yeah.
A building is a building. That same building can be Taco Bell. It's the people that make a school. It's the people who invest into the children and those relationships, and it's so important.
It's so important.
So what brings you here today? I see you got a few stickers here on your badge.
So first time here to present and first time attending. And I'm really excited because, like you, I'm very passionate about early childhood education. I love being in the classroom, but I really felt my role was to help support teachers because I see in all my positions I started off as a TA and worked my way up. So being in all those different positions, I saw where the lack of support came in or what not to do as a leader, and So I'm talking about today how to build professionalism in ECE.
Nice.
Because I think a big part of our problem in ECE is that teachers still are not viewed as professional. We're still viewed as babysitters, which if we were, you wouldn't be able to afford us. But
amen
that's
to that.
Another story.
Amen to that.
But so like, how are we as leaders making sure our team not only feels professional, but they're getting what they need in regards of professional development.
Yeah.
In regards to feeling seen and feeling heard. And I was talking to another attendee this morning at breakfast, and I said to her, it's like the kids. We also need structure. We need routine. We need stability.
Yeah.
So what as leaders are we doing that to give that to our team?
Yeah. I think, too, the other thing for the teachers who are listening, it's really important to take PD, but what's even more important than that is to implement the PD that you've learned. Because I've also seen that, too. Like, you'll just go to whatever PD your boss signs you up for.
It's so boring because it's something you don't need.
Yeah, it's something you don't need, and that's one of the nice things with the CDA. They make sure that you're not just getting 120 clock hours, that there's a certain amount in each area to make you well-rounded.
Absolutely.
So I think that is another advantage of doing a CDA program as opposed to just taking 120 random PD that you don't know now. How do I connect this with the work I do every day in your classroom?
I agree with you, and that's a big issue too. Like you're saying, well, okay, we're going to send you this PD, but we're not going to tell you what to do with it.
Yeah.
But we need support in that area. And I was talking to another person earlier, and she was saying how they're going into high schools.
Yeah.
And having high school kids take the CDA ahead of time, and then if they go to a community college, they get credit for early childhood education.
Yes.
We need to start recruiting them young. Yeah. And when they understand this is what it looks like.
Yeah, and it's a viable.
This is actually what it takes. It's not just. I mean, don't get me wrong, classes and bachelor's and master's, they're great, but they don't prepare you for a lot of the practical stuff. Here's what you do.
Right.
But when you get into that classroom, it's not always that simple. They just implement.
Yes, yeah.
But with the CDA, they come in to the classroom you're in, and they help you understand, okay, try this instead of that, maybe it'll work.
Yeah, and I do love when you have to write your competency statements and the reflective part.
To
me, like that's where you say, okay, I took this PD. What does that mean now? And then you've got to think about it, and you've got to write it down. Like, okay, I took this amount of hours in child development. Now what do I do with that?
Absolutely.
And so I think it does push you to that next level of implementation.
I agree, and I think it's such an important aspect of early childhood, and I think more program needs to be knowledgeable about it so they could give it to their teams, and especially help those who need that extra assistance or don't know much about it because they're just entering the field. When you're just entering the field, it's overwhelming.
Yeah,
it's very overwhelming.
Yeah, and even when you come to it's a community too, right? Yes. So when you're just like a teacher on your own, when you come to a place like this and there's 350 other folks who also are part of your same club of being a CDA candidate, it means something. So it's a greater community too.
Oh, for sure. And I think it's just coming together too and hearing everybody's ideas and opinions and finding out about different areas of education. I'm like, wait, there's a job in that? That's really cool. Tell me more about it.
Yeah.
So I agree. It's a great community to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I think those communities really need to stem out to the programs themselves and how they're creating their communities and how are they raising them and making it to something like this where everybody feels safe and secure to say, hey, I need help, or what can I do for this, or what can I take away from this? How can I implement this? So I think it's really important that what's happening here needs to go back into programs themselves.
Yes. So as we wrap up, is there something that you'd really like to leave the listeners that I didn't ask you?
I think it's important to ask for help. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the field. You could be brand new. You could be in it for 25 years. We want to always ask for help. We always want to make sure we're upping our knowledge, if you will. Education is a very fluid thing. What worked last year is not going to work this year. What worked 10 years ago will not work today.
We talked about that last night in the hotel room. I'm like, the Erica now would give different advice to the Erica 5 years ago.
Absolutely. So I think it's just really important to keep that open mind of, we're not saying you're doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's just we want you to grow as the world grows with us and as education grows and changes. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be stubborn and not want to ask for help. And just educate yourself in any way you can. Read a book, listen to a podcast, go to conferences, especially this one. Go to conferences, go talk to people, and I'm learning that too of I need to network more.
Yeah.
I need to make sure I'm talking to people.
Yes.
Because I work with a lot of people, but it's important to know others and see their views on things. I love talking to other people and hearing what they have to say. It's really amazing. I'm like, oh, it's actually a really great idea.
You should be part of our Trailblazer program.
I love
to. All right, guys. So you heard it here. Child Care Directors Chair. This is where leaders grow, and this is where leaders go. See you soon.
Bye, guys.